if you're a business owner, a consultant, a trainer, a coach, a speaker, you've probably thought about writing a book. And you've probably thought, that sounds just like a lot of hard work. And you may have even started and not quite finished. You may have thought about it, but not got started. You may actually have something that you're just not that proud of right at the moment. Okay, so I know how that feels. My name's Debs Jenkins, and over the last 25 years, I've been helping coaches, consultants, trainers, speakers, small business owners, founders, get the chaos out of their head and turn it into products and things that their clients will love. And one of those products and things that I've been helping them do over the last 25 years is make a book. And usually we've been doing it in the long, create a full book, the 50, 60,000 words. 11 years ago, I sold my half of a publishing company. And for the last 11 years or so, along with looking after a load of animals here at the disaster farm in southern Spain, I've been helping my private clients create their own books. One of the things I realized about 4 years ago was that I'd actually written in my own notebook, people call it commonplace book, a journal, whatever you want to call it, but I'd written in my own notebook that I wanted to write books for myself, because I was writing books for everybody else, but I wasn't actually, or helping them write their books, but I wasn't writing my own books. So I wrote it down. It's a decision. I made a decision. I'm going to write a book for me. And then a year later, I noted when I reviewed my notes in my notebook that I'd written that, and I hadn't actually written a book. I hadn't made a book for me. So I thought, why did I make that decision, but then not follow through on it? Was it really a decision? So I thought, well, I really need to, I'm an engineer by background. So I actually, reformed engineer, I actually like measuring things and controlling things and checking things out. So I started to write down my decisions in my little book, Deb's Little Book of Big Decisions. And I wrote down these decisions, and I wrote things down like BFK, be fecking kind. That was a decision. No appointments on Fridays. I wrote that in December 2019, and I stuck to that decision. 1 week free of appointments every month. I stuck to that decision. So some decisions I was sticking to, and other decisions I actually wasn't. So writing them down, starting and dating them helped me work out what decisions I was sticking to and what decisions I wasn't. So I started doing that with my clients. I would say to them, okay, you want to write a book? Is it a decision or is it just a wish? And once they decided it was a decision, once they said, yes, I have decided I'm writing a book, I asked them, how do you feel about that? What's the overriding feeling? And then what's your first next step? So having done that with a few times with clients by accident during the conversations, I realized that that was actually quite a useful process. So I turned it into a little book. The little book of big decisions, which has got coffee stains and all sorts of things over it. And in this little book of big decisions, there are lots of journal pages for writing down your decision and how you feel about it and what's the first next step. So I started doing that and gave a few to clients and got some feedback, and people liked it and people found it was useful. So this was my prototype. This was my minimum example of the thing that was in my head, turned it into a minimum thing. And I did it all by myself. And, that's why you can tell it's not very well designed. And I had lots of mistakes in it, and I had lots of corrections I wanted to make. And that was my first prototype version of the book, and I did that by myself, and I used Google Slides to create it, you can tell. But I sent it out, I got feedback on it, and then once I'd realized I liked it and I got all the feedback I needed from it, and I realized my clients liked it, I turned it into a real book. I got a designer involved for a couple of £100. A designer took my scrappy drawings and my scrappy stuff and turned it into something quite pretty. And now this is for sale on Amazon. It's for £5. And I give it away to clients when I take on onboard a new client. I give them a copy of this because I want them to write down the decision that whatever asset they've decided they're going to make, that it's actually a decision. So I want them to write it down in their little book of big decisions and how they feel about it and what's their first next step. And then they can review it in a year's time or in 6 weeks' time or in however long it takes us to get the job done, to see if their decisions wishes or real decisions. So why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because within a week, you can go from crazy idea in your head or your own thing that you're doing to a prototype, to a real designed book, all for yourself. You can do all of this yourself with the help of a designer like I used if you're not that way inclined. So if you, as a business owner, consultant, coach, speaker, trainer, you've got things that you share with your clients like a workbook or worksheets, or you think they really could do with a journal for writing down what you're asking them to do. It's not a big book, it's not a real book, it's not a big thing, it's not your 60,000 word legacy type book, but it is something really valuable to your clients, and it could be valuable to you. You can do the minimum version to create a book that gets out. It's on Amazon and it's on other bookstores as well. You can do both. People can buy it, you can send it to them. It's the minimum valuable thing that you can do that's an asset to you in your business. Minimum valuable asset. I can show you how to do this. If you're interested, get in touch. So I'm Deb Jenkins from theassetpath.com, where you can find out more about what I do. Ciao for now.